e dello studio dello sviluppo del paesaggio culturale ed agrario appunto in questo territorio. Dear Professor Ögel, we are happy to have you here. We hope that you enjoy this context and the Bergamo Science Festival, and thank you very much for your conference.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer of this conference here for this invitation. This gives me a good opportunity to share my research with you. But on the other hand, I have to apologize because I'm not able to speak Italian. But the organizer have taken any kind of effort that you can share my experience I have made with this Iceman investigation with you. So thank you very much for this. The second is I'm going to talk about the research I have conducted on the Iceman for now about 2 decades. And this is not only archaeobotanical research, it's also a quick overview about the discipline of archaeobotany in this case, because this specific object of the Iceman findings gave us the opportunity to make any kind of investigations we can make in archaeobotany, and this has been applied. So we have the chance to go from paleoforensics until the reconstruction of the paleo environment. So how does this work? Okay. So I assume everybody is familiar with the discovery 18 years ago when this German couple, Simon, were traveling along the main mountain ridge. So they were passing from the left corner, what you can see here, down the main mountain ridge. Does it work? So they were passing by this Iceman site, the pointer, and discovered then the body in the gully, which you can see in the left column. So it was such an puzzling discovery at that time, so that nobody really realized that this was a Neolithic body. So it took some time that this was recognized. But then, as it was found out, we had the unique opportunity, an excellent preserved Neolithic body with all his artifacts, to investigate these findings, which were frozen into the glacier ice and yield detailed information about the life circumstances and the environment at the copper time. So we are working as archaeobotanists in different ways. So the first thing is that we are concentrating on the one hand on so-called on-site data. So these are all the data we can gain at the discovery spot. So these are artifacts and the body, and we can tell out of these something about the origin of the person, the diet which was consumed, the seasonality of death in this case, the environment where the person lived, and at the end also the social status. And additionally to this, we are also interested in the environment around the discovery spot, and therefore we also need information, and this is gained from off-site data, how we call them. And these are mainly peat deposits in the vicinity of the discovery place. And also there is one additional tool, which is caprine dung from the discovery site I will talk about. And this gives us some idea about the form of vegetation, the human impact on this vegetation, a little bit about the climate and the social context again. So let me start first with the on-site data, and I would like to talk exemplarily a little bit about his artifacts. So he had completely arms with him, bow and arrows, the bows in his quiver, the arrows in his quiver. Two of them were able to be shot, all the others are unfinished. And the same is with his bow. And you can see on the right side, you have a cut from the bow wood in this case. And it's quite similar to modern yew wood, what you can have. There is nearly no decay on this material, and this shows the excellent preservation of these findings. Even the color is the same like you can find in modern yew wood. So the arrow shafts were mainly made from wayfaring tree, and as I told you, they were unfinished. But before we were going to the arrows, I would like to talk a little bit about the bow. The bow was also unfinished, never in use. You can see cutting marks all over the bow body, parallel running to 3 rings made in a very simple traditional way. And you can see no imprints of a sinew or notches at the end of the bow. And there is even no grip made in this bow, and this tells us completely unfinished thing and never used. As you can see, the bow is D-shaped and was cut out of a yew trunk with a minimum diameter of 8 to 10 centimeters. It was made only from the inner part of the wood, which is the hardwood. The sapwood was removed and is not visible in the CD scan, which you can see on the left side. What you also can see on the bow is that there are twigs running through the body of the bow. And only yew wood allows such a disturbance. And it is important that these side branches run in an oblique angle through the bow, otherwise it would cause damage and fraction. And according to the orientation of these branch markers, we can also say that the bow was orientated, or should be orientated, with the flat side to the archer and the bent side, which we call the back of the bow, front of him. Now, the arrows. As I told you, there were only 2 finished arrows. All the others were completely unfinished. And they were all made from the most favorable shaft wood we have in the vegetation. And this is the way